Like, why would you do something that, you know what I'm saying? You don't do nothing to. We know our time is at any time. Matter of fact, everything's time and chance anyway. You know what I'm saying? By time and chance anyway. But don't do nothing to put yourself out there. You don't need to. Don't jump out of an airplane without a parachute. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? That's basically like what we're talking about right here. But we'll look at some more stuff. Be not over much foolish question you got for your time. What's coming to mind?
Right.
Yes.
And you had Jesus during the Feast of Tabernacles. And he had to go up eat the feast. His brothers was like, he had to dodge his way.
Man, that's actually a good. What's the name? It's right there at the same place. Yeah. So read it. Go up to we had John. What was that? 7?
Yeah, 7.
You was going.
That's absolutely right. Look at that, man. I told you, man. We got some smart people up in this class, brother. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. John 7. And look at it. Verse 1. Yeah, pick it up at verse 1. Yep. And we read into it.
After these things, Jesus walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jewry, because the Jews saw.
You seem to have wisdom. So that already, you know what I mean? Like,
if he's gonna walk into the Jewry, they're gonna kill him. So he's not gonna walk that.
Why even deal with that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the scripture, exactly. So why deal with it? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand. His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence and go into Judea, that the disciples also may see the works that thou doest. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If thou do these things, show thyself to the world. For neither did his brethren believe in him.
That is funny. That's crazy. They setting his own brother up, you know what I mean, to get killed. Yeah, that's us, though. Go ahead.
Then Jesus said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is always ready.
All right, so now let's go look at this. Let's go look at Luke. Let's see. Luke is 18. Tower of Shalom. What the? Tower of Siloam. Luke 13. Go to Luke 13. And pick it up at verse 1 and read.
There were present at that season some that told him of the Galileans, whose blood Pilate had mingled with their sacrifices.
Go ahead.
And Jesus answering said unto them, Suppose ye that these Galileans were sinners above all the Galileans, because they suffered such things? I tell you, nay, but except ye repent, ye shall all likewise perish.
Go ahead, keep reading.
Or those 18 upon whom the tower of Siloam fell and slew them.
Showing you that, listen, Jesus knew when his time was, but our time is always. So now we're going to look at this particular thing that's happening. So Pilate was, killing these Israelites whose blood Pilate mingled with their sacrifices. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Suppose ye that these Galileans were sinners above all Galileans? because they suffer such things? I tell you, nay. But except ye repent, ye should likewise perish. Because it is appointed unto man once to die, and then after that, what happens? It's the judgment. It's appointed for us to die. We don't know when our time is. But going along with what you just said, as far as like, with Ecclesiastes, it's like, listen, don't be foolish in what you're doing out here. Matter of fact, when you walk with discretion, let me show you about that. Go to Proverbs chapter 4. Go to Proverbs chapter 4. Because when you're foolish, and we're all simple when it comes to the things of God. We do things hastily. We do things without thinking, and we get into a lot of trouble because we don't do things without thinking. You know what I'm saying? It takes us a second to get into, but it takes you a lifetime to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? So Proverbs shows you about that. It says Proverbs chapter 4, and pick it up at verse Proverbs chapter 3. Pick it up at verse 10. Chapter 2 and 10. Go ahead.
When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul,
Then what?
discretion shall preserve thee.
Understanding
Shall keep thee.
All right, so understand. So when you get wisdom and it's precious to you, when wisdom enter to your heart and knowledge is pleasant unto your soul, he says this is going to happen. Then you're going to be discreet about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You'll be discreet. Discretion shall preserve thee, and understanding shall keep thee. Go to 4, chapter 4, and pick it up at verse 6. Read verse 5 and read.
Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth.
Go ahead.
Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee.
Go ahead.
Love her.
So you get that wisdom. It's going to preserve you. You know what I mean? You're not going to do foolish things. Keep reading, bro. Right. Exactly.
Love her, and she shall keep thee.
Go ahead.
Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
Keep reading.
Exalt her, and she shall promote thee.
Go ahead.
She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her.
Go ahead.
She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace.
Go ahead. See, because you need grace. Because even when we do something stupid, sometimes knowing that we should get bent up. I drove home drunk as I don't know what one time. Fell asleep at the wheel. I knew better. That's why I was in the military. I fell asleep at the wheel. I'm coming down 95. I was like maybe 2 miles away from the Merlin house, and my foot was planted. I had a Chevy Blazer. I had a 4-speed Chevy Blazer, right? And my foot was to the pedal. And I kept falling asleep, kept hitting myself, rolled the window down, hit myself. I finally went on ahead and went in. When I woke up to my car hitting this guardrail, kind of spinned out, but it was planted. I only had 85 on the dash, but the whole thing was planted. My foot was on it. So when I spent out, boom, boom, and then I pulled over to the side. But I could have flipped. You know what I'm saying? I could have hit on car, but I was doing stupid stuff. You know what I mean? No discretion. You know what I'm saying? I was out there wide open doing me. Cop knocks on the door. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I'm in the military. Flash badge. I went to the rest area. I went to sleep for a couple hours, and I got up. But the point of the matter is, I could have been dead then. You know what I'm saying? That's from some stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? But so, like I'm saying, when you get wisdom and understanding, you know what I mean, you don't forsake her, you know what I mean, you'll never catch me doing that again. You know what I'm saying? That's not, why would I do something stupid like that? You know what I mean? It's going to preserve you when you get that. It shall bring you and exalt you when you embrace her. One more, that should be it. One more place. Ecclesiastes. Go back to Ecclesiastes. Chapter 3. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and look what he said. Verse 1. Read.
To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Go ahead. So now listen, everything that we go through, it's all for a reason and happens for a purpose. All right. Go ahead.
a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away, a time to rend, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace.
So listen, there's a time and place for everything that's written under the sun. You know what I mean? You had actually, brothers and sisters, you had your time to live in sin. It's a time and place for that. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, David tells you, and it was a purpose for all that. You know what I mean? Your purpose is, you know what? I know what not to do. If the Lord gave me grace, I know what not to do to get in that same situation. Don't turn back to your vomit. Better learn from it. David himself wrote about this in Psalms 119. Go to Psalms 119. And watch this, because it's time and place for everything, right? Psalms 119, and look at verse 66.
Verse 66.
Yup, read it.
Teach me good judgment
Watch this.
and knowledge,
Uh-huh.
for I have believed thy commandments.
Right? 67.
Before I was afflicted,
Listen, David said, before I was afflicted. See, I wasn't afflicted at first. But he says, before I was afflicted. What did David, look what David did. He had a man murder, he committed adultery and then had a man murdered. Let's get this right. Committed adultery. She got pregnant. He tried to hide the baby first by having the man go sleep with her. When that didn't work, then he committed adultery. This is how slippery sin is. Sin is so slippery that it'll cause you, like once you start down that road, you'll start doing things that you know you have no business. Now, this is a man after God's own heart. You got to recognize that. Now, if he doing that, imagine what we do on the little stuff that we sitting here doing. You think you fooling other man, but you really not fooling nobody. So anyway, so he had adultery, try to cover up the pregnancy, and then had him ultimately killed. Although he didn't kill him himself, but the Lord attributed it to him because you had the death letter for it. So at any rate, with David's situation, you start realizing to whom much is given, much is required. Although the Lord, that's why when I read it earlier today in James, it said, brothers, you that are don't try to be masters over much, for you know that we're going to get the greater condemnation, right? That's in James chapter 3, verse 1. So now you look at what happened. Although the Lord forgave him, listen, he forgave him for his sin, but he caught hell for the rest of his life. From his family, like basically everybody around him, he got hell from that. You know what I mean? From that one thing, because he gave occasion for God's enemies to blaspheme because of what he done did. And I can't let you get away from it, David. What's going to happen is you're going to pay for it through your whole family. So now look what he said. Before I was afflicted, I went astray. But what? But
now I have kept thy word.
All right, 71.
71. It is good for me that I have been afflicted.
That what?
That I might learn thy statutes.
See what I'm saying? It's a time and a place for everything. It's good that I was afflicted. Why? Now it's teaching me to learn them statutes. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. For what? Go ahead.
The law of thy mouth is better unto me than thousands of gold and silver.
Right, yeah. So now, like I said, it's good that I got afflicted, but before I was afflicted, what happened? I went astray. It's a time and a place for everything. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for the Lord's grace and his mercy, you know what I mean, David could be writing a whole nother story. But that's something different. So, like I said, to everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. It's a season, it's a time for it. All right, that's it. Anybody, any other questions? Hope that helped, bro.
Yeah, that helped.
Okay, praise the Lord. Nothing. Yes, sir. No, okay.
Question.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, everybody's tired, yo. I know. I already know what it is. But go ahead, bro.
The seventh day in the book of Genesis, where the Lord had ended all his work that he had done.
Mm-hmm.
That's a prior 1,000 years. 1,000 years of past history, right?
Hmm?
That's the seventh day in Genesis chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1,000 years that already passed in history.
It's already passed, you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, it would not mean that 1,000 years of flood would have overcome the earth, but not seventh day.
What are you asking, brother? I'm sorry.
So if that seventh day the Lord rested, right? So that's 1,000 years have passed. Would not have had the flood come in that seventh day, according to the genealogy of Adam.
Did it come in that 7th day?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say yes. Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's go. Yeah. No one went through that flood. Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Yes.
It comes out of Hosea 1 and 11. I got stuck on them pointing themselves to heaven. Who's this head they pointing at? Hosea 1 and 11. Last one.
The last verse.
I know Jesus is going to be our king and David is going to reign. So who's this heavenly pointer?
Let's read it. Let's read up into it. Pick it up at verse 1 and just read down into it. It's only 11 verses.
The word of the Lord came unto Hosea, the son of Beeri, the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, the king of Israel. The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea, and the Lord said unto Hosea, Go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And the Lord said unto him, Call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And God said unto him, Call her name Lo Ruhama, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by the Lord their God, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. Now when she had weaned Ruhama, she conceived and bare a son. Then said God, Call his name Loami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God.
Talking about Israel, because the Lord going to divorce Israel. All right.
I think I saw one answer.
You already got it? All right. Go ahead.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sands of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God.
Keep going.
Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together.
Understand? Because look, when is this? The days of Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah. You know what I'm saying? Hezekiah, where was Ahaz at?
Ahaz was one.
He is Israel.
Yeah, I know.
So he was one of the kings of Israel.
Was it Judah?
Yes,
In Israel.
Oh, I'm thinking Asa.
Yeah, Ahaz is, you know what I mean? He's a wicked king, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Israel, they gotta, what they doing? You know, Israel, they're getting separated from Judah in this. So, well, finish reading verse 11. Read.
Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
We're talking about when the Lord come back. Who's going to be the head? Jesus. But look, Israel and Judah. See, Israel's not going to be dealing with no calves, 2 golden calves or nothing like that. That's the 9 tribes. You know what I mean? Israel going to get away from Judah going to get away from their idolatry and what they was dealing with, because they fell in the same thing. So now when they get back together, when they come back together, because the Lord's going to gather them both back together, who's going to be the head of that? Let's go to Zechariah.
It's the word appointed. Like, we ain't appointing God. I think that's what I got tripped up with.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. I mean, it's
Okay.
like that's Israel. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be unanimous. They're going to want the Lord to be there. You know what I mean? You don't want him to be there. And David be the king right there. You know what I'm saying? David's going to be their king. The Lord going to be the king also. You heard? Absolutely.
Like, who they appointing? Like, isn't God? That's all I got.
Nah, they just meaning like, you know, they all going to bow down and have the same mind. You know what I mean? Knowing like the king is going to be here, which is Israel. Shiloh, which is Jesus' name too. He's going to be king over all. Go to Zechariah 14:6. And look at it. No, actually, you can read into it. Look at verse 5 and read it.
And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains. The valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azel. Yea, ye shall flee like ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah.
Keep going.
And the Lord my God shall come, and all the saints with thee.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark.
Mm-hmm.
It shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord, not day nor night, but it shall come to pass that the evening time shall be light. And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. In summer and in winter shall it be.
Go ahead.
And the Lord shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one.
All right, there it is. So I want to see if there's another place.
Got it.
All right, smooth. Very good. You can look at Zechariah chapter 8 too, and look and see about how the Lord was feeling about Zion. Is there anything else? Whew. Go ahead, brother.
I didn't even write down the question, but I don't know, because I believe it's in the Old and the New Testament. But the question is, where it says, the question just slipped my mind. was about marriage.
Mhm.
He who that's it. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor with the Lord.
Oh yeah,
That's the scripture. I don't know.
that's Proverbs.
That's in Proverbs. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I just want to know, what is that favor that's being obtained? That's the question. So what is the favor being obtained?
A good wife. A good wife is a favor. I mean, you know what?
Nothing further than that.
A bad wife.
If that's all it is.
I mean, once you have a bad wife, you can understand what a good wife is for. But you need a good, it's a good wife. But let's go look at that, man. I think that's in 21. I don't let me see. Look at 19 and 14, and we'll look at 18. Proverbs 18. 18 and 22. 18 and 22. Go ahead, brother.
18 and 22.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtain favor of the Lord.
Mm-hmm. And 14, read.
And
19 and 14, read that.
The spirit of a man will sustain.
Proverbs 19 and 14.
Oh. All right. Oh, house of riches are the inheritance.
House and riches. Go ahead.
House and riches are the inheritance of fathers.
And what?
And a prudent wife is from the Lord.
Oh, prudent wife. Okay.
What was that again? I'm sorry. 19 and
19 and 22. I mean 19 and 14. And 18 and 22.
right, okay, got it.
Let's see what else a favor get you. Let me see. Let's look at some more stuff that this woman can do. That's good favor. Says a good woman buildeth her house. Where is that at? While I'm looking for that, go to Proverbs 31.
Just on my mind.
Mm-hmm. What's the favor you're looking for? Let's look at some of that. You find a wife, you know what I'm saying? Pick it up at verse 10. Proverbs 31 and 10.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
Mm-hmm.
The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that
So when you have a good one or a good wife, you safely trusted in her, right? That's favor from the Lord, ain't it? You know what I mean? That's part of that favor. Keep reading.
so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
That's a good woman. There's a lot of wives. That's favor from the Lord. What if your wife? You got a wife that's doing evil to you all the time.
Right. Not in this word. Equally yoked.
Right. So, like it says, the heart of her husband, who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her. I ain't got to worry about you when I leave to go to work. You got the next man sliding up in here. You going and spending my hard-earned money on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You ain't worried about that. You safely trusting in this woman. All right. Remember, what we read was that whosoever findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of the Lord. Right. Then we look at houses and riches are in inheritance father, and a prudent wife. A prudent wife. What does prudent mean? Somebody look up prudent for me.
Diligent affairs.
What does it say?
Diligent in affairs.
So one that's diligent in affairs. See, that's favor from the Lord, because you can have a wife that ain't diligent in your affairs. But look, let's see what this woman does too. Oh, wait. Proverbs 19:1 says what?
Better is the
Proverbs 14:1. What does it say?
every wise woman buildeth her house,
But what?
but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
So understand. So if you got favor of the Lord, your wife that you have, she ain't gonna be plucking down your house either, man. You know what I mean? Always contentious. Let's go back. Go back to Proverbs 31. What else does she do?
Verse 13. She seeketh wool and flax and work willingly with her hands.
Mm-hmm.
She is like the merchant's ships.
Yeah, she working willingly with her hands. You got to come in the house all day and she laying around watching soap operas all day. You know what I'm saying? You out there working. Your food ready for you when you get home. You know what I mean? It's just. What do you think the favor of the Lord is? You know what I mean? If you got a prudent wife, you know what I mean? You can pretty much come around and get it. Come and think about it. You know what I mean? If that favor is having a good wife, you know what I mean? Especially good for you. You know what I mean? What's a bad wife? I bet you can come up with 5 things of what a bad wife would be. Can't you? A good wife ain't that. That's what it is. It ain't that. But we showing you some things. Come on, bro. Keep reading.
She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar.
What else does she do?
She rises also while it is yet night.
So while y'all sleeping, like my grandma used to do, man, we'd be sleeping. She'd be up cooking breakfast at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? For us. Keep going. You know what I mean?
And giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it.
Oh man, so she really thinking about things. You know, she consider a field and buy it. She really building her house. So the rest you can read on your own. But there you go. That's what I'm saying. Excuse me. Anything else? Oh yeah. Hold on. This is for you too. Here you go. Watch this. Go to Proverbs 30 and pick it up at 18.
30?
Yeah, Proverbs 30 and pick it up at 18.
There be 3 things which are too wonderful for me, yea, 4 which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid.
Mm-hmm.
Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. For 3 things the earth is disquieted, and for 4 which it cannot bear.
What's what?
For a servant when he reigneth,
For a servant when he reigneth, what else?
and a fool when he is filled with me.
And a fool when he is filled with me. Why? Because he's filled with me. He's gonna say and utter anything he good. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
For an odious woman when she is married, and a handmaid that is her as heir to her mistress.
So now it's an odious woman. What's that odious mean? What does that mean? Let's see what odious means.
I was just about to ask.
I mean, let's look at that. Y'all gonna love this. Odious.
Here's the definition of odious: extremely unpleasant, repulsive.
Oh, an extremely unpleasant and repulsive woman when she is married. There goes. There's a bad wife. You know what I mean? Never want to submit. Always got to talk back. Always saying something. You know what I mean? You want to do all everything that you want to do.
Say I'm married, but when I
Go.
act up as soon as they get married.
This niggas are getting a new word.
Yeah, go here. Do that. You move here. Go right. Shut up. Go ahead. Like, yo, man, cut it out, man.
Yeah. Odious.
You just want that bias.
Gotta have the last say and everything. You know what I mean? There's one more. Oh. A foolish woman. Look at 13.
Proverbs 13.
I mean, Proverbs 9 and 13. The odious woman when she is married, man. Let's read it.
A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. For she sitteth at the door of her house, on a seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers by who are going right their ways.
Go ahead.
Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eateth in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell.
So now look at this. So here's another one. Read Proverbs 7 and 1.
My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my laws as the apple of thine eye.
Keep going.
Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart.
Right.
Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinsman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words.
See, now that's the woman you don't want. So like once again, you know what I mean? A man that finds a wife, finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Everybody ain't wife material. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at the discretion of these women, or one that don't have discretion, let me see. As a jewel
11
in a pig.
11 and 22.
Oh, you already got it there?
Yeah.
You already.
I didn't know what it was.
Look at this. Go to Proverbs 11 and 22. Already know where that's at, brother. I got you, brother. Go to 11 and 22. Oh, wait. Before you get to 11 and 22, look at 12. Look at 12 and 4. Read.
12 and 4. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness in his bones.
So look at that. So now, a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. You know what I mean? We was reading the attributes of this virtuous woman. Husband, you know what I mean? He doesn't worry in her. You know what I mean? She's straight. But one that makes her husband ashamed is like rottenness in his bones. Now read verse 22.
All right, 11 and 22.
11 and 22.
As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion.
So that's what we was at when we was back there at that Proverbs 7. You know what I'm saying? When you read that one, you're gonna understand. Skip down, go to 7 and verse 5. Read.
7 and 5.
Proverbs 7 and 5. Read that.
That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words.
That's like the seductress, they saying. You know what I mean? If you lay hold on this, they're gonna keep you from this woman. You know what I mean? The one that's all loud and boisterous, they stubborn. You know what I mean?
What was that?
7 and 5. Mm-hmm. You can read 7. We're gonna read 7 all the way down to we go to 23.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
For at the window of my house I looked through my casement and beheld among the simple ones. I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding,
Mm-hmm.
passing through the street near her corner. And he went the way to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the dark night.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, there met him a woman with at the attire of a harlot
Uh-huh.
and subtle of heart.
Yeah, crafty. Go ahead.
She is loud and
I
stubborn.
know him well. Go
Her
ahead.
feet abide not in her house.
Yeah.
Now is she
Come here,
without.
Playboy. How you doing? You know what I mean? Looking good over there, boy. You want to have fun tonight? Man, that's no discretion at all, is it?
Now,
Keep going.
now is she without.
Mhm.
Now in the streets and lieth in wait at every corner.
Mhm.
So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows.
Go ahead.
Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face. I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry
Oh, uh-huh.
and carved works, with fine linen of Egypt.
Yeah.
I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon.
Yeah, to cover up that stink that you got going on, Harley. Go ahead.
Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning.
Why?
Let us solace ourselves with loves.
Go ahead.
For the good man is not at home.
Oh, man.
He is
that
gone.
means She an adulteress then, though.
He is gone on a long journey.
Yeah.
She got a good man, but she's messing around.
Oh, she's blowing it. And then Simple Boy there, you know what I mean? The Simple, he gonna go right on into it.
Ugh.
But you know,
Ugh.
but the good man is not home.
Yeah, the good man's not home. Come on. Yeah, he's simple. But you said the young man is simple. That's why we read earlier, flee useful lusts. You know what I mean? Flee that, you know what I mean? And follow gentleness, righteousness, and peace, and all that stuff that we're supposed to do. But them useful lusts, when you're young, you dumb and full of stuff that you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? So now that's why I say it happens in your youth. As you get older, you should be a little bit more wiser. You should be acting a little bit wiser. So he takes her. The good man is gone. What else, brother?
He have taken a bag of money with him and will come home at the day appointed.
Mm-hmm.
With
He
her,
at work right now. Don't worry about it. He at work. You know what I'm saying? He'll be back in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We got time. Go ahead.
with her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter,
Mm-hmm.
or as a fool to the correction of the stocks,
Right.
till a dart strike through his liver, and a bird hastens to the snare,
Right.
and knoweth not that it is for his life.
Why? Because you can't be guiltless when you sleep with another man's wife. It's off limits. The Lord ain't going to accept no excuse or nothing. The Lord says, "I am a jealous God." That's how you feel about it when you deal with other guys. You committing adultery. I'm not accepting nothing for it. But let's make it plain though. Go to 6 and 27. Read. 27.
Can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burned?
These are rhetorical questions. Go ahead.
And can one go up? Can one go upon hot coals, and his feet not be burned?
The answer is no. You're going to get burnt. So what? Here's what's for.
So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever touches her shall not be innocent.
See, you ain't going to be innocent. You know what I mean? If you can't take clothes and fire into your bosom, if you can't walk on hot coals without getting burnt, don't mess with another man's wife. It's not going to be no excuse. It ain't going to be I was walking down the street, I tripped and fell in. There ain't going to be none of that. You know what I mean? When she came and you know what, she loved me. She came in, it was all on me. No, there's no excuse. If you see her, you should let it go. Let it go. As a matter of fact, the Lord brings you to the mindset of, he says, if you, it has been said, that thou should not commit adultery, right? Oh, but now he's telling you that. Listen, now he's saying, I tell you that you shouldn't even look upon a woman. You know what I mean? To lust after her. You know what I mean? But then you can commit adultery in your mind. At least it was. Well, at least if I didn't touch her, I could think it, but I didn't touch her. Now you're like, man, don't even think it now. So you bring your level of obedience to a certain level.
That's fine.
Yeah. So now what do you say? So is he that go into his neighbor's wife. Whosoever touches her shall not be innocent. Go ahead.
Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry.
What?
But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding.
You see that the young man, he in the next chapter, he lacked understanding. He went up to this woman. Go ahead.
He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
You destroy your own soul. Go ahead. A wound of what?
A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away.
You can't pay that man. Keep going.
For jealousy is the rage of man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
That's right.
He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts.
Now, every time I see this precept right here, I always think of the movie Indecent Proposal with Woody Harrelson and
Demi Moore.
Right. When the dude, you like, I'm off you $1 million. They was all with it before that, but then after the thought got in, like he left mess with his wife, he was like, man, I ain't beat for none of that, yo. He's ready to kill all of them. You know what I mean? Y'all seen the movie? Y'all ever seen the movie?
I've seen it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
bad deal, man. Like man, he was like after he did the deal, he was like, man, and he was like, I spent the night, and that was the killer of the situation because he spent the night and he didn't know if she did anything or not, but they had agreed to $1 million. Robert Redford was a rich man or whatever. He said, "Yeah, I'll give you $1 million if I can spend the night with you." And so at first they was like, "No." Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore was like, "No." They was like, "Well, bung it, just don't do nothing with it. I ain't gonna do anything." But so he spend the night, get the $1 million, and it's like, well, what happened? Anything happened? You know what I mean? And you couldn't tell the man what they did.
But she told him.
This is an older movie, man.
Yeah, but
It's called Indecent Proposal.
There's a recent movie on Netflix that's like that.
Mm-hmm. They made another remake of it, of the John, but it's like you don't like when it says he will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though he gives him many gifts. It don't matter what you do. Like when you mess with my chief, it's like, man, somebody mess with my wife, man. It's going all the way down, man. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not hearing sorry about nothing. You think the Lord going to hear sorry? It's my kids and stuff. All you know what I mean. I got children. You know what I mean. Yeah, you don't mess in another man's cookie jar. You know what I'm talking about? It's not.
No mercy.
Yeah, because that's mine. That's it's mine. You know what I mean? No one else's.
Takes two. If I don't think a man is gonna mess with somebody else's wife if she's not gonna be consent.
Oh, so check. Watch this.
I mean,
No,
no, but I'm saying.
No, she better have been screaming like, "Yo, help me!"
Yeah, you help. Do what you have to do, but I'm saying it happened because to play the game. It's not just him. Just all of a sudden, well, I'm just gonna go to this woman and she's not gonna want to consent to it.
Go to Deuteronomy real fast.
Does go for it.
Deuteronomy 22, I believe it is. Nah, I gotta see when one's in the field, but she's betrothed to somebody.
That could slay both, not just him, but her. I mean, I wouldn't be comfortable with after she gets with somebody he referred to.
All right, here it is. So look at Deuteronomy chapter 22 and pick it up at verse 23 and read.
If a damsel that is a virgin be be betrothed unto an husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her,
Then what?
then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of the city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die.
Oh, now the Lord's not going. He's going to tell you to stone them, but he's going to give you the reason why. Why? Go.
The damsel, because she cried not.
Because you right now, that's what I say. The woman better cry, be like, "Yo, stop!" You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's different if somebody can't help her, but she cried out. But she don't cry. That means she was with it. So you won't get dealt with because of that. Keep reading, bro.
Being in the city, because the damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he have humbled his neighbor's wife.
Go ahead.
So thou shalt put away evil from among you.
But on the flip side, go ahead.
But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her,
That's raper. You raper. Go ahead.
and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
Why?
But unto the damsel thou shalt not do nothing.
Why?
There is the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man raiseth against her his neighbor, and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her.
So you see, so it's different when something happened and ain't nobody there to help me. I mean, and a man is stronger than a woman, so he forced her, but she wasn't with it. So when they get found out, the Lord said, "Kill the man," but the woman, she didn't do nothing worthy of death because nobody was there to save her or to help her. Yes.
This is kind of on the same topic. So I was told that okay, when a man sleeps with a married woman, it's considered adultery. But when a woman sleeps with a married man, it's not considered adultery. Is that true?
If she's not married.
If she's not married, it's not true. So that means she's not an adulterer.
No.
Okay, so what is it considered just fornication?
Absolutely. If the man didn't marry her or do what was necessary to get married.
But it's not considered adultery if it's a woman sleeping with a married man.
Nah, she got to be married. She has to be married. So it goes like this: if a man has a wife, goes out and sleeps or gets with a woman that's not married, he has to surely do what he need to do to endow her to make her his wife. Otherwise, it comes up under fornication. Now, that same married man goes out and gets with a woman that is married. All right, that's adultery on her part and most definitely on his, as the man. All right, you understand what I'm saying? If she didn't have no husband, then she would just be part of him. You know what I mean? That should be. All right, but once she's married, it's an issue. That's an issue. Man, you know what I mean? Woman and man both can commit adultery, but it's not adultery when a woman sleeps with a married man and she's not married. If she's married and she sleeps with a married man, that's adultery. Other than that, it's fornication. And he need to do what he need to do to make her married. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Coming out of Revelations 11 and verse 3. I just wanted to point to me who those two are or could be.
I don't know.
I think I did just read it.
Go. Verse 3.
11 and 3. Revelations.
There's two witnesses. We don't know. I don't know.
Because the consensus is, as far as Elijah, right, that he's not around anymore. I'm just saying, as far as those two witnesses between here and Zechariah 4, it doesn't really give who those two are.
Yeah, and I'm not going to give you nothing like that, you know what I mean? Because I can't read it, you know what I'm saying? Unless we can't.
Two olive trees.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we can't
But he
read.
doesn't give us
You don't give us nothing, you know what I mean? Nothing that we can go on. So let's read it so that the people can know. So read verse 1. 3 is the question. Go ahead.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread underfoot 40 and 2 months.
So what's that? 3.5 years, right? So we talking about this was going to happen right during the Great Tribulation. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's dealing with. You know what I mean? The Great Tribulation. But then what's going to happen here?
And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
Yeah. So you understand? You know what I mean? Because by this time, when this happens, the 3.5 years, Israel's going to escape to the wilderness, right? Going to be in the wilderness, and then this is called Jacob's trouble, right here. Everybody else that's keeping the commandments that didn't make it to the wilderness, Satan's going to have power to destroy all these cats. They're called saints, right? But these 2 witnesses, they really reflect or like parallel with Moses and Aaron when the things was going on in Egypt. You gotta look and see what was happening with Egypt. What was happening? Wow, the plagues, the first 3, right? Was going on. What was the Egyptians doing? Didn't they have magicians that was mimicking the same thing? So it's like this is really like a way to even out the playing field. You know what I mean? So it's not all evil here, because there's going to be people that's doing exploits too. That's going to be here too. But these witnesses are going to be here so that they can, you know what I mean? They're going to even the playing field, and they can't get killed. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be a thorn in the side of all these people that's dealing with the beast and the false prophet. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna end up dying at the end. That's when you know that the Lord is going, when they die and be in the street for 3 days and 3 nights. Then listen, when they raise, that's the first resurrection. That's when the Lord comes back, touching down. But look at Daniel. Go to Daniel. To answer your question, bro, I don't know who that is, but we're just looking on something else, just to mess with it. And it don't say. I can't really speculate like I could, but Daniel chapter 9, I said. No. Go to 11 and look at it. It says, verse 31. Read that. 11 and 31.
What 11?
Daniel. And arms shall stand on his part.
You're talking about the abomination of desolation. Go ahead.
And they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength.
That's what we're supposed to have left out for the Gentiles. Go ahead.
And shall take away the daily sacrifice. Mm-hmm. And they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. Mm-hmm. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries.
But what?
But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits.
Right, so that's those that didn't make it to the wilderness, that's still out here dealing in this world, dealing this 3.5 years. They actually have to give up their life for the word of God. You know what I mean? And by them doing so, they might bring other people in. They're going to bring other people in by doing that. Keep reading.
And they that understand among the people shall instruct many.
Yet what?
Yet they shall fall by the sword.
So they're going to fall by the sword. So if you're a saint, and understand, just because you're a saint don't mean you taken away from the fact that you might have to die for the word of God. It just is what it is. This is what we're building up our faith for. It might have to go down like that. Keep reading, bro.
And by flame, by captivity, and by spoil many days.
Go ahead.
Now when they shall fall, they shall be hoping with a little help. But many shall cleave to them with flatteries.
Yeah.
And some of them of understanding shall fall.
To do what?
To try them.
See if you about this life or not. You're going to get tried. Keep going.
And to purge them